What's up, combat sports fans? This is TBE Boxing back at you again. Today's topic, Mexican-Puerto Rican War. Amanda, the real deal Serrano versus Valentina Garcia in her third MMA fight. Let's chop it up and see what it's all about.
Got the money for minutes, pretty bitch, gotta show me titties. This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? This is the life that I chose, huh? On the block with the pole, huh? That life before riches, huh? That life before riches, huh? Pretty bitch, show me titties, huh? And I got the glazzy run up on me, I'ma make you get it. I'ma make you get it.
Okay, boxing fans and combat sports fans, MMA fans, UFC fans, let's talk some combat sports. All right, legendary boxing champion, WBC, WBO, IBO champion, Amanda, the real deal Serrano versus Valentina Garcia in an MMA fight that's coming up on June 11th of this year. Serrano just recently defeated Damiela Bermudez in a spectacular fashion in a stoppage where she stopped Bermudez with two vicious body shots that put Bermudez down for the count. Uh, that was on March 25th, I believe, and now Amanda Serrano is about to fight in her third MMA fight against Valentina Garcia on June 11th. So this should be an interesting fight. We're going to get to see where Amanda Serrano is currently as far as, where she stands in MMA. This is only a third fight in MMA. She had two other fights in MMA. She also had a tough fight against Karina Herrera. That was a vicious fight in which she got a draw in that fight, which I thought she got robbed. I thought she should have won that fight, but the judges gave Herrera a draw. So it is what it is. But I'm thinking that in this fight with Valentina Garcia, I'm thinking that Serrano shouldn't have too much problems in this fight. Garcia got a pretty good jab and a pretty good stand-up game, but I don't think she's at the level of Amanda Serrano when it comes to stand-up. And I'm thinking even if they go to the ground, Serrano is probably going to have the advantage because she's a tough fighter and she's a fast learner and she's been learning pretty fast on the job in MMA, and she's doing good so far. So right now, her record is one victory, one draw, no defeats. So this will be a third fight, and should be interesting to see where she's at and how she's progressing in in the MMA. So yeah, should be an interesting fight. I'm looking to see that Serrano is probably going to stop Valentina Garcia. Like I said, I think her stand-up game is definitely superior to Valentina Garcia. I don't think there's many women in and even some men in MMA that can stand up to Serrano when it comes to a stand-up. I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to give her too much trouble in the stand-up. I think she's going to be superior to most of the people that she come up against in MMA as far as the stand-up game is concerned, because she's an elite boxer. 40 wins, 30 by knockout. She knocks people out, and she has a superior boxing technique. And when you put that in MMA, it's on a whole different level than what most MMA fighters are used to in their stand-up, against their opponents. Coming in there against Serrano as a MMA fighter in stand-up, not many people are going to have a chance against Serrano. And I don't think Garcia is going to be any different. I haven't seen anything from Garcia that would tell me that she's going to give Serrano any trouble whatsoever when it comes to the stand-up. So I think that Serrano is probably more than likely going to stop her, maybe in the first or the second round. I mean, I could be wrong, but we'll see how it all shapes up. But like I said, this is Serrano's third fight in MMA. As we all know, as you all know, she has been campaigning in the MMA, recently, and she's been doing quite well. I saw Garcia against, in a fight against Damiela Hernandez. That fight, she actually lost that fight by decision. She was pretty good. She put up a pretty good fight against Hernandez, but Hernandez got the decision. And I don't know. She had another fight after that. Okay, that was in 2020, but this is her fight. She's fighting Serrano right now, and we're gonna get a chance to see how much Serrano has progressed when it comes to her MMA skills, which is considerably. So far, she is doing very well at this point. Her record, I believe, is 1 win, 1 draw, and no defeats. So I'm thinking that this will be her third fight and, her second win in MMA. Garcia is a fighter, but I don't think she has anything that's going to give Serrano any trouble whatsoever. I'm thinking, like I said, stoppage first or second round. Should be a relatively easy fight for Serrano based on her stand-up game. And even if they have to go to the ground, I think she's going to be the superior fighter against Garcia. Although you would think, Garcia probably has more experience as an MMA fighter. But again, the elite boxing skills that Serrano is going to bring to the game, I think is going to be too much for Garcia. I think she's going to overwhelm her with her stand-up game, and I think she's going to end up stopping Garcia at the end of the day. So, it is what it is. What I'm really actually looking forward to is what Serrano's next fight is going to be in the MMA. I want to see, who she's going to call out next, if anyone. And, I want to see her, against some of the better fighters in MMA. I know this is only a third fight, so she got to progress relatively. She can't just go in there and fight the top fighter in MMA. She needs to, develop a striking game. Her MMA game. She already has probably the best striking game in the MMA right now, except maybe for Nunes. But I don't know. I'm thinking as a pure boxer, she's probably superior to Nunes. Nunes is a very good striker, a knockout artist as well, hard puncher. But I think, with all the years of boxing training and skill that Serrano has, she'll be the better striker than even Nunes, who, the lioness is actually a real lioness in that ring. So, yeah, I want to see Serrano fight some, top contenders in the MMA. And I'm looking forward to see who she's going to call out, next in MMA. And also, I want to see who she's going to fight next in boxing because, as I said, she's campaigning, at 126 pounds. And she's looking to become undisputed. She already holds the WBO, the IBO, and the WBC belt. And so the WBA and the IBF belt is out there, and in order for her to become undisputed, she has to collect those two belts as well. So I'm looking to see who she's gonna fight next in boxing. Hopefully, I would love to see her fight Katie Taylor. That would be a great fight. Taylor already fought and defeated Amanda Serrano's sister, Cindy Serrano. But of the two sisters, I'm thinking that Amanda is a much better fighter than her sister Cindy. So I think this should be a great fight with her and Katie Taylor. And I would love to see that fight sometime this year or maybe early in 2022. At the end of the day, Amanda Serrano, is getting up there in age. And so if, she's going to have to get the fights that, she needs to get now to become undisputed. And if she's going to fight Katie Taylor, she needs to fight her relatively soon because she's not getting any younger. Okay, even though at this point I haven't seen any deterioration in her skills, so far, but nobody wins against time. Time is the winner eventually against everyone in this game. So yeah, I'm looking forward to see her fight Katie Taylor, and I love to see that fight soon. Now, I've heard from Katie Taylor that she doesn't think that Serrano actually wants to fight with her. She claims that Serrano backed out of the fight several times with her before. I don't know how true that is. I wouldn't, I would doubt that. I don't think Serrano is afraid to fight anyone, and I think she could probably defeat Katie Taylor. So I don't, why would she back out of a fight with Katie Taylor? Maybe there was some, reasons, some other things going on that we don't know about. But I don't think that Serrano is afraid of anyone in the boxing ring. So I doubt that very seriously if she actually backed out of a fight. If she actually did do that, then it was probably under extenuating circumstances, and there was a good reason for that, the fight not happening from her end. So no, I don't believe she backed out of any fight. But we all don't. I don't really know what happened, why the fight didn't happen. I guess I'd have to ask her one day if I ever get to speak with her. But that's what Katie Taylor said, that Serrano backed out of a fight with her, and she actually thinks that Amanda doesn't really want the fight with her, for whatever reason. Okay, but we'll see what happens, in the near future. But like I said, I would love to see that fight. But right now she has Valentina Garcia in front of her in this MMA fight, and she can't overlook her. Like I said, I think Garcia is a warrior, and she's gonna come in there and try to win, but I just don't think that she will be able to overcome the elite striking skills that Amanda Serrano is going to bring to the to this fight. I think that she will just be the superior fighter, striker, boxer in there, and I think she's gonna give Valentina Garcia all kinds of trouble in there, whether they're on their feet or they're on the ground. So I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I think Serrano is going to win the fight relatively easily, and I think she's going to stop Serrano in this fight. But, we're going to have to wait and see. The fight is going to be on June 11th this year, 2021, June 11th. And so make sure you don't miss that fight. Any boxing fans or MMA fans out there who follow Serrano, this fight should be an interesting fight. I'm not going to miss it, and you shouldn't miss it either. So tune in on June 11th to see legendary Amanda, the real deal Serrano, against Valentina Garcia. As we know, it's a Puerto Rican versus Mexico war, and we all know that Amanda Serrano is Boricua to the bone. So we're going to see a good fight. It's going to be a war, and it should be very interesting. Definitely looking forward to this fight. So I'm going to leave it there for now. Like I said, tune in for this fight June 11th. Okay, don't miss it. Serrano versus Garcia. It should be a war. Puerto Rico versus Mexico. Definitely going to be a war. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to leave it there for now. Make sure you tune into www.tbeboxing.com to get the latest sports headlines, boxing analysis, and boxing news. There's also an article in TBE Boxing about this fight, about Serrano upcoming fight in June 11th. So check that article out when you go to tbeboxing.com. Go to my YouTube page, TBE Boxing. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell icon so you can get all the latest in boxing and in MMA. This is TBE Boxing saying that's all I have for right now. I'm out.